The promise of low code is vast, but not all low code is created equal. Some platforms simply can't scale. Some leave business users in the dark. The end result? More silos and friction. To succeed with low code, you need the right people, processes, and technology. Pega's trusted approach brings it all together in one inclusive development environment. And with design thinking principles baked right in, everybody gets to play a role, whether they're building one app or thousands. Get the most dependable, low-code automation solution that will help you build fast and at scale, automate intelligently, and deliver engaging experiences. Manage it all seamlessly and be ready for whatever comes next. Pega.
Good evening and welcome everyone. Listening to the African youth talking to us about its links to the digital world is the objective of the talk Parole à la jeunesse. It is a rendezvous of 10,000 coders from Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. Paris time, just before the daily expert webinar of 10,000 coders. We exchange with young people from one of the 54 countries from Africa. We ask them about their career paths and listen to what they have to say about the implications of digital with employability and professional integration. Today is the 16th of February, the third Thursday of the month, destination Mauritius. I am Zakia Biura from Mauritius, Project Director of the Federation of Innovative and Numérique Activities in Mauritius, which bring together the ICT professional associations of Mauritius, that is OTAM, MITIA, and CCI France Maurice, to organize joint activity for the ICT sector by pooling resources. There are 4 activities, and they are organized around regional and international cooperation, hackathons and tech events, capacity building, startup and innovation. We are organized events like Startup Weekend or Tech for Good Challenge. The last one we co-organized with French Tech Mauritius. And in this event, we met our guests of today. With me this evening, Shekila Atman, our communication and event coordinator, will interview our guests. Shekila, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Zakia. It is a pleasure to be here this evening. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Shekila Atman. I'm a student at the African Leadership College here in Mauritius, and I'm also a communication and event coordinator at FINA. Before I give the floor to our guests, let me briefly introduce Mauritius. The Republic of Mauritius is an island state of the Indian Ocean at around less than 1,000 kilometers east of Madagascar. The Republic includes the main island of Mauritius and other outer islands like Rodrigues, Agalega, and Saint Brandon. Its capital is Port Louis. Mauritius has emblematic symbols such as the dodo, the Sega music, well known for its mythical destination with its beautiful beaches. The island has a rich cultural, historical, and natural heritage that we invite you to discover. While the island is a popular tourist destination, the digital sector is one of the main economic pillars. Symbolized by the cyber city located in the heart of the island, which currently houses the largest technopole, where are based renowned companies specialized in BPO and IT. Now, I suggest that we discover the inspiring path of our young guests, students, and startups, And their names are Nombo Kunchu, Caleb Mdunda, and Sean Udumansai. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We would like you to introduce yourself, tell us your name, which country you're from, what you're doing, why you chose what you're doing, what what you would like to do later in terms of your job, and a few words about any extracurricular activities that you involve yourself in.
Uh, Thank you so much, Shakila, for the warm welcome. Hello to everyone. So, my name is Nambo Evans Kunchu. I am 22 years old and I am from Cameroon originally. At this point, I am a student at the African Leadership College studying electrical power systems engineering. And I'm also the founder and CEO of Moto, which was a winner of the Take Off for Good challenge that Zakia had highlighted earlier. So, one of the reasons that pushed me to study electrical engineering is because I'm really interested in the framework that engineers use in addressing problems. So, choosing this particular course, I was convinced that it was going to give me this analytic and scientific mind, which would enable me address some of African grand challenges and major problems around the continent. One extracurricular activity that I'm currently working on is working as the president of the ALC Valley, which is a clone of the Silicon Valley. I'm sure most people have heard about it. So essentially, it is an ecosystem of startups that are all gearing towards solving African problems by providing contextualized solutions, that is, solutions developed and implemented by young African entrepreneurs. So, yeah, that's a bit about me. I am going to pass it through to Caleb to take us also uh, on his end.
Grew up in Nairobi. I'm studying computing, which is a 4 year degree program at the African Leadership College that specializes in equipping students with the right computational skills to enable them solve the challenges they are passionate about solving. So, in the future, I'd like to work as a software engineer specializing in developing extended reality technologies using things like augmented reality, virtual reality, and AI to leverage on the strong points of each one of them and create something meaningful for my community. I am also currently working with the startup Moto as the lead software engineer, whereby I design and build web and mobile applications alongside making digital designs for social media marketing. One extracurricular activity I'm involved in is gaming in virtual reality, whereby I aim to explore different games like racing and shooting games, and I find this really fascinating for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caleb. We'll pass it on to Sean.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Uduman Saib, 23. I am Maurician and I was born and raised here. I am initially from the town of Cupid, but for the past 2 years I have been living on campus at ALU. I actually really like the sense of community here and just experiencing different cultures and seeing different ways of living and just learning about everyone's background. So I am at LU. I'm currently studying a bachelor's degree in business management, and I am in my third year. My areas of interest are customer service, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. Actually, it really interests me how technology is shifting and will be shifting customer service and the overall customer experience. So things like AI, virtual reality, and just over immersive technology, and how they offer a more personalized experience to clients and increase their customer satisfaction. I also have a big interest in entrepreneurship and just the ability that it has to drive change. Uh, just the data about entrepreneurship shows that it's a driver for economic development and job creation, especially in developing countries. And I think it's really incredible that normal people just like me can take matters into our own hands, and with the right tools, we can solve local issues and even global issues, and we are able to change the lives of people for the better. Actually, it's the main reason why I joined Moto. I figured that the best way to learn about entrepreneurship and business was to get on the ground and actually challenge myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for that, Sean. And it's nice to meet all of you. It sounds like you have all exciting passions and goals, and it's great that you're taking advantage of the sense of community and the sense of entrepreneurship and learning from people with different backgrounds and experiences. And entrepreneurship can certainly be a powerful force for change, especially in developing countries where it can create jobs and spur economic growth. And it's great to see that all of you are taking the initiative to challenge yourself and learn more through your involvement with Moto. We would move on to talk about the Tech for Good Challenge. So, the Tech for Good Challenge 2022 is co organized by FINA and French Tech Mauritius. This second edition aims to encourage the creation of projects in the field of tech for good, in particular those in the field of energy and ecological transition, such as agri-tech, smart cities, e-health, edtech, or inclusion. During this period, the candidates were coached by specialists from the ecosystem startup of Mauritius, mainly partners of the challenges such as More Angels, La Plage Factory, or Trampoline. The coaching sessions covered several fields such as idea validation, business model canva, pitch techniques, rehearsal, and so on. The winner of the Tech for Good Challenge was the project startup Moto, a life-saving transport service project, and we would like to learn more about Moto. So let's discover the project and their experience regarding the challenge. Number, could you share with us more about your present startup Moto and why you chose to participate in the Tech for Good Challenge?
Thank you for that brilliant introduction, Shekila, and giving us that small recall on the win we had at the Tech for Good Challenge. Yeah, so of course, maybe to give a more broad understanding to what we're trying to do with our startup motto, it will be important to highlight some of the problems that are being faced in Africa. Let's use our lens to focus a bit on the health sector. You will notice with me that in Africa, just about 65% of the population, more than 65% of the population actually does not have access to EMS services, that is emergency medical services. If you need an ambulance in Africa, you should be expecting to spend anywhere between $300 to $400, and you should be waiting anywhere between 110 to 120 minutes to get an ambulance transfer. As if that was not enough, there is also a very high scarcity of ambulances, with about one ambulance for every 60,000 people on the continent, which is very far from the recommended one ambulance for every 10,000 people. So that is exactly where Moto comes in. Moto serves as a platform that links first aid trained taxi drivers to users with minor medical emergencies, which means our service is essentially agglomerating taxi drivers that we offer first aid training and equip them with first aid kits so that they can serve as the first respondents in cases of minor medical emergencies. So in that case, they will be able to offer pre and post hospitalization transfers to people that need to go to and come back from the hospital. So that's the general idea of the startup motto. and answering the question as to why we decided to join the Tech for Good Challenge. Of course, the Tech of Good for Good Challenge was also benchmarking our startup against our unique value proposition that is providing health services. So, in that sense, we saw it as an opportunity to put our idea out there into the world and see it from the lens of people that are not directly involved in the development of the product that we are building. And the Tech for Good Challenge essentially met those criteria because it's a challenge that is focused on health, and it was really well organized, and they had a lot of people from the Mauritian startup ecosystem. So that's one of the reasons that pushed us to take a chance and see how viable our product is. And good enough, we were able to convince the jury that Moto is actually a project that is really relevant, especially on a continent like Africa, with all the statistics that have been listed year before. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons that why we choose to take on the Tech for Good challenge.
I would like to
Shakila?
know from you, Caleb. What are some of the opportunities and challenges that you went through when you signed up for the Tech for Good Challenge?
I would say that the Tech for Good challenge helped us to get a lot of exposure on the Mauritian startup ecosystem, and notably incubators and different investors. It also gave us access to cash, which we needed very much to test our MVP. And one of the challenges we faced was aligning with the timelines of creating a pitch deck that could capture what we wanted to do, as we wanted to present it to investors and the other incubators present in the Tech for Good challenge. Thank you.
What
On
is
to you,
the next
Shakila.
move? What is the next move that Moto has?
Um, so now that we've won the challenge, our next move is to go into incubation, and then raise our seed round to test our idea better. So actually, I just joined the team recently, and that is mainly my role in the team right now. I am responsible for business development. So I am now leading the team, helping the team to lead into the development phase and reaching target market, reaching out to other associations, and just having the taxi association under us, and just making everything work together.
Sean, we would like you to introduce the team. Do you mind introducing the team? The Moto team.
Oh, sure. So, um, we have Nombo as the founder and the CEO. We also have Busisiwe as the co-founder. Next, we have Ruth. She's in charge of marketing. We also have Sam Keliso, who is the CFO of the team. Caleb, as you've met him, he's the CTO. We have Franklin, who is in charge of development operations. And for me, I am the business development associate.
Thank you so much for introducing us to your team. We'll move on to anything that you would like to share with the Mauritian community. So, what would your advice be to the youth to encourage them to get into STEM, IT studies, and the technology ecosystem? What would your advice be to them? We will start with you, Evans. No.
Okay. So, of course, tech is obviously taking over the world with the advent of very innovative and edge-cutting technologies like recent artificial intelligence. So, there is no point to overemphasize the importance of tech in the current global landscape. So my advice to anybody that is interested in STEM is that they should go in full-fledged on, because there is a lot to gain out of it. There is a lot of things that you can learn, and the applications are endless. So one thing is that you shouldn't be scared of trying, because it is better to fail at something than not to try at all. So I will highly encourage the youth like me, of course, to be risk takers, to try new things, to learn from their mistakes, and to put it in the loop to make sure that they can keep growing from any failure that they get to encounter. Yeah, so that's an advice that I would give, and that I think has been working for me really well. Yeah.
Just before we move on, do you mind answering the question of what do you think about the 10,000 coders platform?
Yeah, the 10,000 Coders platform, of course, is a fantastic initiative, according to me. I had the opportunity of reading through their website and their bold mission of actually connecting and inspiring youth across the African continent by leading workshop series like this one. So I think it's actually a really, really bold initiative to connect technology, connect tech enthusiasts with local communities as a way of trying to encourage and push them to believe in their own abilities, to believe in their potential to create change using technology. So, to all the members of the 10 Coders community, a big shout out to you. I think you guys are doing a really, really good job at it. And I can't wait to see how far this community can, how far and how big this community can grow. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. We'll move on to you, Caleb. What do you advise the youth to encourage them to choose technology related courses? And what do you think about the 10,000 coders platform?
All right. From a software engineer perspective, I would like to tell you that I can personally see a future in the software world, because this career path has provided me with a salary so many times more than I could ever count, and my position in most teams and hackathons is always like solid, because I am sure I have the right skills to approach anything technological. And in relation to this, my favorite quote says that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you don't take the shot to equip yourself with the right tech skills, you will end up missing 100% of the future opportunities you could get by pursuing this path. I think this forum is very beneficial because it promotes active youth engagement in matters affecting the community, and it is the perfect stage for networking, knowledge building, and capacity building for young people, not only in Mauritius but in the rest of Africa.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for that. We'll move on to you, Sean. Sean, we would like to know what do you think about the 10,000 coders platform?
Thank you, Shakila. As for me, I think that the 10,000 Coders platform is an amazing concept, and it effectively solves the high rates of youth unemployment, especially in Africa. I think that the program can be life changing to many of those who are taking part of it, by providing them with the right tools and becoming literate in coding and learn more about entrepreneurship. Also, what I've seen by going through the website and the videos, I think it's very relevant that special care is provided to females. Um, and if there's one advice I can give to the youth, and that's actually something I wish I had known sooner, it would be to be proactive. You don't have to wait for others to solve your issues. You can take matters into your own hands. And actually, I think you'll be really surprised by how much you can achieve on your own. There are so many resources nowadays, and you can literally acquire knowledge and develop new skills all the time. And also, don't forget about teamwork. Like, it's normal as a human being, you can't achieve everything on your own, But if you surround yourself with people who think like you and just have similar aspirations, you can grow and achieve a lot and solve a lot of the issues that you're facing. Thank you, Shakila.
Thank you so much for our lovely guests. Thank you. You're such a young, dynamic, bubbly team, and we would like to see how far Moto will get and impact the community that is willing to solve issues for. We will move on to talk about the digital passport. Yes, 10,000 coders is a great opportunity for the youth to discover several areas of the digital world and extend their network. On 10,000 coders, the professionals from the African countries take the time to listen to these young people who have chosen to be accompanied by 10,000 coders and their ecosystem. Young people regularly follow the daily webinars on digital, personal development, and entrepreneurship. They have also had the opportunity to prepare the test to obtain the digital passport, 10,000 coders that validates a general culture of digital and accelerates employability. You must be asking yourself, what is the digital passport? Digital passport is a solution of digital culture that is inclusive and scalable. Inclusive because it's open to everyone. It is free for anyone to take, independently of the level of education, age, or gender. Scalable because it supports millions of people at the same time in each of the 54 countries of the continent. The aim of this all is to help African youth to become digitally literate and promote their employability. We encourage Mauritian youth and people from the continent to join 10,000 coders. Thank you for sharing your journey as youth startup and entrepreneurs. We wish you and your team all the very best. Thank you. I will pass it on back to Zakia. Zakia, you're muted. Sorry.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay, thank you. Warm thanks to our guests, Nambo, Evans, Caleb, our moderator, Shekila. We wish to our guests all the best in their journey, in their studies and entrepreneurial journey. A big thanks also to the team of 10,000 coders behind the organization, Roselyne, Douglas, and all the team. Thank you and see you next month. La régie, l'antenne est à vous. Merci.
Découvrez Tous, la nouvelle plateforme qui va révolutionner le secteur de la formation en Afrique. Une interface innovante, unique et pratique qui regroupe à la fois social media et digital learning pour apprendre sans limite. Rejoignez gratuitement Tous, le premier réseau social éducatif africain, et formez-vous grâce au contenu des meilleurs formateurs et des plus grandes écoles, quel que soit votre domaine ou votre passion. Participez à des quiz, des classes virtuelles et interagissez avec des experts. Repérez votre future école ou votre prochaine formation en ligne et abonnez-vous à vos pages préférées. Agrandissez votre communauté et donnez un coup de pouce à votre carrière. Suivez, likez, mais surtout apprenez sur touschère.com. Avec Tous, révélez votre talent. Tous, extend your world.